Citizen TV, the citizen power.
Yeah. Look, what was that in Humawi? Your friend Agyapadie. So, me pacho, what they capture the eba me. Now man for enhu. Men kan asembia enfrimiti mu. Sa Agyapadie yi. Ya se abusuakuo bi anatworo. Kwan yo mo be fa so a Ghana Agyapadie nyina eba be di omo ne omo ma ene omo asefo ntem ensam. Etinipa otworo forward anani wasan oforiata ewa ha. Now forward no what they share the first paragraph. First paragraph.
Okay.
Was say to our future, made up of the present and the unborn, for whom this will, Agyapadie, of a nation is being prepared. So, was say a dachi, any nasitra ye woman, any young kola, any and Kanswa young war mono. Womo ana ye sa Agyapadie or minor Agyapadie ediama omo. So what do you to me amase e mamesum? Obi se sa to me na de man no. What the ye Agyapadie Ghana Agyapadie nyina de ma nasefo. And we are quiet. Now, what say to our foremost king of Oripeni, the progenies spread across this world, for whom and to whom alone this sacred document is prepared. Yes, I did when you know the share of Oripeni and Munyam. Ghana 40. Hey, Mumia careful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Paragraph 5.
Paragraph 5.
Was it currently with Nanado in total control of the whole entity of Ghana? We have a duty to ensure that we take over the commanding height of the essential fabric of the country, in order that even in the event that Nana leaves the scene after the mandatory 8 years, the sons and daughters of Ochimai will be firmly secured and such control, both financially and economically, that we can no longer be ignored in the battle to control the destiny of Ghana. Hey, Ghana for Muntio. Memmo example say this is not a fiction.
A planet.
And it's working. Working. In the forward now, me more baby. What's it? We free 5. Now about 7, paragraph 7.
6, 7, yeah.
What's it? In doing this, we need to be strategic. We will have to work with other people from some of the diverse ethnic groups, including some carefully selected people in Ashanti and other diverse ethnicities or land. This would make them believe that they also have a hand in the pie. It will be obscure. It will obscure any suspicion that the project is essentially an Oforupeni project. This point is crucial because with electoral politics, we have to have our eyes on the numbers in the electoral process. We cannot be blatant until we are completely secured in the endeavor. It is especially so because so far, the Ashantis constitute the single most populous ethnic groups in the country. So, it is Ashanti for the young man, and I say, I according to Agagan. Paragraph 19 in your kind. Paragraph 9. Was it although the Ashanti group within the current NPP is gearing itself to take over the party after the next tenure in 2024? It will be ideal if we could work to bypass them in 2024. Now, with hard work, we could work to pass the mantle over to non-account person, preferably from the north, under whose presidency we could secure the maturity of our takeover project. Where a prophecy is here. So being a trend down what church and say a fiction and you say anyone or a prophet. And why a prophet?
A serious issue.
What say? Ashanti region, and that's Ashanti for our NPP party. or more prepares on be take over from Nana Akufo-Addo. Yeah, primaries. Alan Chamantin from Ashanti.
Yeah.
Boacha Japo from Ashanti. Adainimo from Ashanti. Akutofiye from Ashanti. Kobna Japan from Ashanti. 5 people. 5. Out of 9 you say you know mokoye. Kojo Poku is for Abraka on 6.
Yeah.
So on yet. So wamu nyese wamu be bypass Ashanti region. Traditionally, Ashanti region is superb, very strong. Otumfo wo UK. Yamano kwan ye besoano in the palanquin. Ewo UK. Akwesida no kwakwedi no. Omo makwa ye besoano. Omo beji a whole street near group ketene eyi. Ohini bia ni ho betima kwa side no. It is a sadia. Then let's cut the Ashanti politically. It is a betima ye so a yampe obi a wo ye non-account person. Yemfa mano. See that man go anko prebi e bia na get. Hey, I'm gonna be back on previ if you don't get that, mommy. But what more ahead, preferably a person from the north.
They were
and then me no can say NPP Frabera over him.
No.
Office him. But once was CD, sa prophecy no. Abem. Look, mame Emma one day.
Book
where the mashada kind power.
I said, baby, I will pass our kinds of what you know, dear. Say, I will marry.
Oh, Montra.
Me mpese obi be wia enti na ma church rodin.
Okay.
Wo wia pa wo bie ya no bia hu say media. So on yete no. Hwe. Sa Labadi beach in sensem na sene to na yenko any ade. Eye den ana director general of senate Dr. Tinkran ye nadi. Obi am wo hu ne ye nadi.
Debi. Letter no so timi say nipa o chore na bu afu pa.
Papa no ye na o me twa me hu wo America basisi a onya phone call say Galloway.
Proceed on leave.
Because now he was not in agreement on certain things. Now, share near Agyapadie Eka is talking about Mamima head in answer. Is talking about banking. Banking.
Okay, higher banking.
Banking or what chim mother. Mother near Bank of Ghana. Biological children. Ghana indigenous banks.
Banks no.
And they were adopted children. Adopted children hona mekono. Absa EcoBank yimuni ne gaida. Omuna ya adopted no. Now, on the adopted EcoBank. We have 2 routes of entry into the institution. First is through Senate, which has a seat on the board of EcoBank Ghana by virtue of its shareholding. The seat is occupied by the Director General of Senate. In phase 2 of our agenda, Kofi Bosompem Osafo-Maafo, who is a Deputy Director General of Senate, should be made the Director General to give him the seat on the EcoBank Ghana board.
To me. Hey.
On the EcoBank Ghana board. And now we can say who is the Director General of Ghana Senate.
Bosompem.
What take his seat in all? You may be sure. You may be sure. Secondary. Papa, we madam for me respecting no pandi. Ya born wife with him in pesa me ko. Wo de ma me si ho no. Unya boku do bi na kan ya wa.
Wa be wo de wo.
Wo be wo de.
O pe say.
O kwa
anda bank. Wo be ku se ne sitie. Hwe eti yete ho no. Ama abusuanko baako. Eje Ghana Agyapadie nyina. So Capital Bank, kwa e fa so e group akwasi Ndum Bank, ene ne atwere wa hase.
Nya no de wa ha. Eno de sa portion no makan.
Eno ne aye no ha sei no. Now, Uber under insurance, your mother, your biological, and you were adopted. So, now, why your mufaswa, ye pia SSC, SNJ. Near Kofa Enterprise Insurance, and no ye bibia, Enterprise Insurance, one nura.
Cano for that.
Government a gibia. Ya force bia. One fan for Enterprise Insurance, you are in trouble.
And as SIC near your mind, dear, and I am basa.
Ya to baby. Jaja baby. Hwe uko bank setter. Kwa ye fa so ye de data bank. E na ye bibia loans aye gigi na ne ade. Nipa ebusuan ba ko pe. Ye no mu de ye Galloway for. Who can we are? Obey the NPP mbeso regina ever be defended this rot. Now what you want now obre? Yes, say to our future, present and unborn.
To omo ye ade na se be omo ma omo nya wo omo mpo no omo mebre.
What can you na area or partner will say? Ghana has said this tribe is going to be the movers and shakers of Ghana.
Indeed.
It is a bibi bakoswa. Omo no kasape enu no obi abedi akire.
Obi abeti order from above.
Oh, pesika dia ye bibi a eho na obeko ene ade. We are here. We are quiet. We benya obi no aba begina no wo defend it. Eish. I will not.
Now on my limu ayetimi aboka ma ye kan tia. Na ye pre carry forward.
Ye mo Ghana farmer nipa baako. Ye nyina ye dia. Ye nyina ye dia. Hwe no de ba kwasi ndu. Ye no de no.
Atwra to dada.
Ye twa to.
Ni din nyina wo.
Me pesa be kan ne honum no because of Sadi Wenti. So okay. Because of that, and me pesa me kan.
Come across me bebo. Yeah,
Mami some more example. What if you na ka say fictional? Then that writer, we need to look for him. Now, on prophesy on this country. Meaning, yeah, edin, we have body natural. The writer no more boni do, Madame Fupa.
You are sure Agyapadie book no.
Madame Fupa, we have body natural. As we are moving on, me body natural. One of the body din, one of the co-writers in the ade. One more edin you be asese omonza. The technical team led by DM Oforiata should further evaluate the following details in order to choose the appropriate site. Galamsey. According to this book, omo 332 Galamsey companies. Ningina ayu ha. Omo nie. Omo na shisha no. The Northern Gold Coast Enterprise. So and so Amanfi East. Wasa Amanfi East. Wofa say ya Takwa Insoyom Municipal. Just every district they are there. Pristina, Nzima East. Omo chiche omo nyina gum. Eti wan e ka che o say Galamsey ebetu azie. Wan e ka za azam ni show. Se beti metu azie dia na che say esese abansi samba. O say o mama. Don't say o mama. Mami tro ade bako. Undermining oil and gas industries. What did he? Was it our mining as well as oil and gas strategies constitute a major plank of the blueprint for controlling the extraction of natural resources, which God has generously bestowed on Ghana, particularly the Achem land. Was it to this end? A cursory look at the approved concessions should be looked at, as Santi Bedietro is to lead the process to take over this concession detail below and consolidate them into the standard Agyapa LLC incorporated in Jersey. Agyapa Ango Parliament. Sir, your minerals say you or moon about vegetable royalties in the Gaga. Adjenekesi. You're the BT Ghana. Now, on this note, I will salute the minority in Parliament.
Yeah, and you are more thing. So a mom penny.
Share Agyapa LLC incorporated in Jersey. You call registered company no abrochiri. And you by the same rough be never be first one. What would you ever?
Oforiata.
There be
hey, as Antipedia too.
Or so or make sure. Says nobody in Akoso. And a Parliament. Parliament board Mugalawe. And yes, anka ye mineral resources a yibia wo mojijibia e kwabushamba bako. How can we live in a country like this? How can we live in a country like this? Ghana, baby, you go near you know, mamma pono honum kama no. I had you now take over. I didn't anarchist as a state. Yes, Simbo Bianconco to Galamsey, a war, ye quiet. Now, man for whom the intimate stop war. Do you know one strategy?
I didn't see I can't time the presidency in our two on the line.
Do you know the strategy? You bet you may you suggest 3 days. Your baby will be a miracle. That's what the strategy about me say no.
Wow.
Na Ghana forces, omo call no omo fly, omo jet was ro honum. Near start say you spray kwa yedum how dey be wura ho. Why dey be wura kwa yedum?
Obi enwura ho.
Obi enwura ho. Yes there be. Yes e boy kwa ye ho ban. Na abusuakuo bi according to this book.
Enti ade na eti say ya nunu ye ho ne because ye wi the taxpayers money near the ama operation the galam stop was a wine near san de bo mo ho ka all in the name say yes stop it galam say you enti me stop it.
Okay? Telecommunication. Alliance oba say digitization betima koye no. Ye say low data. Low cost data. Now we talk data 100 cities, any 3 days, NASA. How can you drive that? Ninji na no, ehun sam hihye ha. What you say? Bisa telcos, bisa omo. Me say ya munyusu RTI no, munyusu. Ehun fa no mo to omo yi, ene sen, eye den na sa pricing we ever. First na go munyina to no NCA. Fofofo. The first to data e check. Ya di nkrofobia be hihye mu. Eti no NCA Emma 1/3 omo na de 2/3 eti telcos no betima to titwa bi ewo NCA na fa kese na no akwakoto no ba bi ono soso no be say 3 times the price NCA de be ma eti ho na betua me ne wo na etua ekogu abusuan ba ko account mu na omo ache I don't know why
This is wickedness.
So there you know. Share. Me say the Paul trust that way. Or prophet o. A man for so be na share them no try no the to abontin. And I'm saying nipa na a prophet. Listen. The political terrain. How do you know the political terrain? I don't want the party. African the Japan aba. Na fe Samuel Kudiso, Dombo do diso. Now mo the Lawrence factor aba. Other minor parties in the Kaka, religious and chieftaincy. Nti other smaller parties, you know, or more kasa you should understand. That should be a no more kasa no go. Ni na wa.
Achichira show manum. Na no ba ku bia mani tua no. Abo come say na wo wani ambra wo power pa na wo kasa ti say obi a wo ye government spokesperson ni.
The cars bebre so.
Hey.
Enyo na aka na asemi. Nye the cars bebre.
Ai. Me say ana wo per president ni bia dia na say den. What's other the PR ama government. Almost so many say ha.
Omo sha say. She. Oh say ya don we oh yeah hand over that.
Ewa ha.
Kroma. Ye nyina wo kroma. Mo hand over. What the security for on am yes on the DJ. Ade omuni ani, omuni adwene. Omo hu say obi e pep change. E change no. On bed dan ya bu mu a. Mo anga say ombo hu say. Sure. What's it as we make final push for EC registration? It is sub IUA about 2019. It is important to roll out our final onslaught to ensure that NDC eventually become a fringe party. Whereas we do not expect the Electoral Commissioner herself to blatantly cripple the NDC, we could deploy the other non-EC functions, such as the need to maintain law and order. So using our people within the security agencies to frustrate NDC supporters from either registering or voting. I know Mabodin, Brechampon will be the key in this endeavor.
Until no so had over. Also, I'm a brave you come say yabem. Because one of that done another day, they hand you over, hand you over. Would you how? We ask our mama come say yabem.
Was it before then? We must have a critical evaluation of our strength and weakness in order to be well positioned for the task ahead. Now, the party, or Maboma, party, so. The youth and women's wing of our party remain our weakest link. Every effort must therefore be made to get our national organizer to fill in the gap. Same apply to getting Eslausu to assist the women's wing. Adioye by 2019. 2020 elections. Esro usuja Abrekuma West. No one nam Tolong, no one nam Borga Central, no one nam Wa, no one nam Babia. And then never has it. We should assist the women's wing. Eti, the writer, the great prophet of our time, say a calculated plan. That's why no person G2 say it's a fiction there. Now we the greatest prophet in our time. As a CAT because
more bomb they are doing the same thing.
No more catch a grade or more cafe Japan above them. No more kind of mobile. Say Alan, ever be take over. They should try and then bypass him. Yanko for being free enough. Abum. Bibi or Moka book in Ubia abum. Don't bother the American crown memo.
You are quite fast to
Tomu yes a bit tunu.
Ya tune simple na me bra ya mobo. Oh. What ya konwam no ada.
Ya tunu so simple. Hwe. Ma obia emphasize the way in diagro. Me de obia hu say e book mu na me kan free. And I'm not the writer. And Ghana nipa bebre ekita sa the way me kan. Enti e be biebiem, ye be ma Ghana for ho. No mun take a wise decision. Because national cake, you know, Adenti, and as I say, Now, the national situation as regard to the media landscape. Baby, King can baby, actually. No one who said that your ma essay air coffer. Baby, King can be. Hey, what can I do?
Oh, Tony,
what can I do?
Now, projection, man, see Pepe say the
Eslowusu on closure of opposition media. We score Eslowusu 70% for her execution of the agenda to close down pro-NDC radio and television stations. Yeah. While we praise her for closing media entities such as Radio XYZ, Capital Radio, Muntie FM, and many more, she scores some low marks in the implementation of the strategy. We expected her to leave Radio Gold from the list for obvious tactical reasons. She could have waived their debt like she has done for our friendly stations such as Ask FM in Kumasi. She could have been fired for the avoidable backlash in strategy, but for her long-standing role as Nane's protege.
Hey, but I want to
Phase 2. Phase 2 of media control. Was it there is no doubt that Joy 99.7 FM and the multimedia group will remain an industry leaders in the communication sphere of the country. While relying on them as a veritable ally, anti-NPP agenda by some of their staff does not pretend well to us. We were left with no choice but to have used our voice, in quote, to threaten Manasseh Azuri Awini. While his publication on the past inured to our political benefit, he has overstretched himself in his attempt to assume an air of neutrality. He was influential to our historic victory, but his constant attack on government culminating into the militia documentary was most unfortunate. Okay? Oka, some multimedia, leading in the airwaves. Our hasi. Na juma wa mu ye de boa NPP mo ba victory no good. Na so some of the elements wo mu a o ma kwakoye anti government. Enti no wo mu sheda no mu use boys e threaten Manasseh Azuri ebe mu na zama. Manasseh Azuri anyane akwankwo South Africa board ho adwa. Ni ye ka that time na me hu we me say ebe de na sade we abam enya no kre sa na no kre pa sa na no kre enti se obi na tena ne dem trotro sade we e ma no ba out 2019 na after 2020 election sa nyoma we nyina esisi a me say let us look for the person let us look for that person. Oh, me boy, Mr. DM for that. I'm say or a co-writer. Or a madam for minimum. Now, hijacking of GBC. Now, the judiciary and governance in Ghana. Yen party court. So that the next 20 years, they can be in control. I don't want to see nominating more people to Supreme Court. Agenda in here.
Citizen TV, the citizen power.